what I want to emphasize is that we've been around for a long time, 30 years now, and probably now more than ever we face a lot more pressure in what we publish because of this cancel culture thing that we're going through. We have lost advertisers over the years, not a lot, but mostly because they get pressured into taking their ads out of the paper because there's something that, you know, they don't like in it. Lately we've had some great additions to the paper. We have Hal back there, Hal Shurtleff, who contributes the pieces of the Constitution. He's a constitutional scholar as far as I'm concerned, and we appreciate that. And we also have what we consider a pretty controversial column in the paper now that's you won't see in many papers, especially the way it's written. It's called Letters from God.
Oh, I love it. I love that. That's my favorite piece.
Well, that's good to hear. And obviously, if the few of you that don't know what it is, it's written by a local pastor, and he uses the inerrant word, God's word from the Bible, to try to explain some of the things that are going on in the world and where we should be going and what happens if we, you know, what should happen if we don't go there. Well, not too long ago, he did a series, a couple of columns on the whole gender debate, the LGBTQ debate there. And I'm not here to talk about, you know, whatever about it, but Market Basket, who is definitely our biggest advertiser, they bring us a lot of money. They move a lot of papers through their store. Was approached by a couple of people. They let us know this. They say they let us know this because whenever any business or vendor that they have is mentioned by a customer, they let that vendor or business know that they were outraged by these columns in the paper, and they wanted Market Basket to stop advertising immediately, to take all the papers out of all their stores. Well, you say one person does it, 2 people did it, but you know, that sounds like nothing. But in this day and age, you know, when there's a groundswell and there's also money behind these kind of things where people will gladly help contribute to taking things down. You know, we're still in Market Basket, and I don't think we're going to be leaving Market Basket, but these are the kind of things that we're starting to fight against. Thank you. And personally, we could say, well, you know, maybe we shouldn't have this in the paper anymore, but we're not going to do that. You know, we hope that we can survive with it, and that we don't have to end up losing all our advertisers, because that's where our money is. But anyway, one other thing I wanted to say is that, excuse me. You know, that's the big thing about it is, it's you folks out here, obviously. I know probably all of you are on our side anyway. I'm not much of a question about that. But it's your support of advertisers. It's your support of us. It's your support of going into stores and telling them that you want the paper. We can't deliver the paper everywhere, obviously, due to you know, logistics and financial things like that. But we ask you to hopefully keep people in the know about us, and we don't want the other side to win, as it is with everything else. Another example of it is the same series of articles. Now, I don't have positive proof on this. I'm going to just say it here to this crowd, but a few months ago, if any of you have ever been to the Shaws in Guilford, obviously you're in Guilford here, and you know that big long hallway they have from the entrance and exit? We were told one day that amazingly enough, the same time about this Letters from God column came out in about the whole Market Basket thing, is we got a call that said they can't have our paper in the Shaws Guilford anymore because there's not enough room there for the rack. Now, we've been in there for 20 some odd years anyway, so we heard through the grapevine that the reason for it was the column. So I haven't looked lately, but I still don't think we're in there. So I've told people, don't go to Shaw's in Guilford anymore. But I'm sorry if someone here works in Shaw's in Guilford, but I'm just telling you that. I'm just trying to support us. So we're fighting against this. This might be just the start of it. There's going to be more to come as this all gets worse. So, I mean, we're proud of what we do. And I look forward to going to work every week and putting that paper out. I mean, most of the paper obviously is feature articles. It's not politics, because we found out a long time ago, if you have a paper that's just about politics, a lot of people aren't going to pick it up. So you have the feature articles, the history, the sports, the adventures, going out hiking and all that, and if people pick them up and read them, maybe they'll read the editorials too. One of our our biggest fans is a gentleman from Rochester, and he's about as liberal as the day is long. And he writes me all the time about how much he loves the paper. He says, but I just skip page 6 and 7. But that's all right, Brian. That's fine. We don't care. So I'm asking you guys out here to, keep supporting us, get the word out there as to how long we're going to survive. I'm on the north side of 65 now. Hopefully, I don't know when I'll be retiring. I'm looking at my wife there saying, how long till you retire? But I like doing what I'm doing, and I like to keep it going. And that's really the story. And I don't know if anyone has a question or anything about it.
We're going to thank you. We're going to have some. Keep the mic. I will take the opportunity to ask the first question, which is, your letters column is called the Mailboat, and it's very limited in size compared to Pravda on the Lake, otherwise known as the Laconia Daily Sun. So, is there anything that can be done to expand the slot for letters in the paper?
In all honesty, I think with the Daily Sun out there, more people are sending letters to the Daily Sun than they're sending to us. A lot of letters we get are, I'm supposed to be unbiased in printing things, but there's so many letters that come from liberal people that just drive me crazy that I'm not even going to print them, because the objective is to override it. But yeah, if we see the need for that, it's a weekly paper. Obviously, the Daily Sun's every day, and the Daily Sun, one of their big, I think, draws is the letters section of it. I mean, that's why I pick it up, to read some of the crazy letters in it myself to see what's going on. But yeah, I see what you're saying. One thing I do want to bring up, though, quickly, is I forgot to mention, is one thing we have dropped the ball on over the past years is Neil Young used to write a local political column for us, and we haven't really had much of that lately about what's going on down in Concord. We don't have the time to do it ourselves because we're busy with the paper. There's only a couple of us there. But I'm always looking for suggestions on how we can get somebody who might want to give us, maybe on a weekly basis, once a month or whatever, a little layout of or synopsis of what's going on down in the legislature, so people who read it can be aware, because sometimes we're not aware. You know how if you're not following it every day and you pick up the paper and you read about a bill, you go, I had no idea there was such a bill that was going to be voted on, and people miss that. We miss it sometimes ourselves. So I put that out there if anyone has any ideas or thoughts on us getting a weekly page about important bills that are coming up for vote or being considered or whatever, so they can contact their legislators if it's going to affect them. That's something we would like to get back into if we can.
Other questions from the audience? The back?
Who started the paper again?
Bob Lawton, who started Fun Spot as well.
Oh, well, just to correct you, my grandfather Peter O'Neill was a 49% shareholder. He was a first-time investor of that paper until he was bought out.
Who was that?
Peter O'Neill.
Okay, that's before my time, so I wasn't 100% sure of that. First time I heard that name, but anyway, okay.
Question over here.
Yeah, hi, my name's Steve Earle. I've been writing letters to the editor at The Sun for about 2 decades now. And when I first started, I was writing letters to your paper. Never got one printed.
Yeah, you did.
And going into Norm's question about expanding the letters to the editor, I'd be more than happy to start sending you letters to the editor if I could expect them to be printed.
Well, I remember having a correspondence with you about letters, and you wrote them to me, and I did print your letters in the paper. I haven't seen any lately.
Well, that's been a long time since I've sent a letter in.
Well, considering
I gave up on you.
Okay. Well, considering once a week, that's not. If we miss a week or two, that doesn't mean we're not going to put it in the paper. But I do remember corresponding with you, and at least a couple of your letters have been in the paper.
I'm going to start sending you letters again.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I hope to see them.
All right.
Any other questions? Thank you very much for coming. One more question?
I'll ask him. I'm just curious. Can you give out the pastor's name? I would love to meet
I
you.
can give, well, I can give out the pastor's name, because he told me that I can give his name out if I want to. And he's a pastor of a church that I attend in Alton. His name is Pastor Sam Hollow. If you get a chance to, you can see some of his services on YouTube for the Alton Community Church. He gave me free reign to say that if I need to. So.
Thank you. As a guest speaker.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to go back into going back.
Croc TV.